All right.
What's up, everybody? Howdy, gamers. It is me, your old friend Babaji. So, we out here today. We've been out here thinking the past few months. Ideas been formulating as he does. He be thinking. A couple of very distinct ideas from months ago have coalesced and married themselves into into their own thing, into a beautiful analogy, a magnificent metaphor where we'll be using some Game of Thrones memes from my favorite parts of Game of Thrones, which I'm not a Game of Thrones mega fan. It's just my favorite part. I be getting in the mood sometimes, and lightning struck me of how that is a perfect illustration of the concept, the pivotal concept of detachment that we be talking about all the time. Okay, so one take Tony is on deck. We're not editing this shit up. Authentic Andy, no AI Andy, the twins. Since everything's AI now, they out here today. That's me. No script Steve. Straight from the heart. Okay? So detachment. Why has he got his classy goblet? Why has he got his classy goblet out and dressed like the king today? Well, maybe that's because I am the king. All right, and that's not a bit. We're not establishing a character here. We're not dressing up for fun or for parody or just for illustrative purposes. It is because I am the king. And that is the premise of the whole video and what detachment is a byproduct of. Okay? So detachment. What is detachment and why does it matter? Okay? Detachment is not like a state that you willfully pursue. You can't. Detachment is not something that you just go and get. You can't just say, "Oh, I don't care." Like there's so much stuff in your life right now that you are already detached from, and detachment is pivotal to being who you are and who you want to be. It's not, although it is not a state that you willfully go and chase. It is something that you cultivate. It's not something that's unlocked after meditating for so long, even though meditation, consistently applying yourself to it, that's what we're talking about. And yeah, it'll happen, but it's not something that just you meditate for detachment. Hope that makes sense. It's not something that is added to your account. It's not something that is added to your account after so many hours of suffering and grinding and time. Time heals our wounds. That is a contender for one of my least favorite lines of all time. Time heals our wounds. Okay, detachment is a byproduct of a decision. The decision to be who you are. Okay? Where am I going with this? It is a choice. It's the byproduct of the decision to be who you are. Therefore, detachment is a choice. It's the choice of deciding right now. You can decide to be who you are and detach from all the rest of that shit 5 minutes ago, 2 years ago, and whatever happened to you that you're still thinking on that is defining you right now. You can also you can detach right now. You can detach in the middle of what you in the middle of whatever is destroying you right now and eating your ass, okay? You can detach right now. You can detach right now. Right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're being silly with it, but you know what I'm saying? Cultivating detachment is a byproduct of deciding who you are, okay? And how do you do that? How did Cersei Lannisters do that? Why is the Septa Baelor even important? For the uninitiated, real quick, Septa Baelor, the big ass temple church, okay, where they were going to hold a trial for Cersei Lannisters. Go Google it. Okay? The Cersei Lannisters is at the Kingdom Balk, okay? She's at the castle balcony. So giving it a classy sip. Giving it a classy sip while she watches from across the city All of the people file in to the church, to the where the trial is going to be at. All of the people that think they know some shit. All the people with something to say. All the people with judgments. All the people that have some kind of perception and preconceived definition of who she is and what's going to happen to her story. The Sept of Baelor exists within you. And that's the metaphor, okay? Because you know what she does with the Sept of Baelor? Spoiler alert, she blows it the fuck up. She blows it a million miles into the sky. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this metaphor. That's what you got to do. We're going to talk about it. Everybody files into this, everybody with something to say, but it's not just other people. It's not just the fucking Tyrells. Simultaneous, everybody, it's your family, the people gathering in the Sept, it's your old self, it's the people that used to know you, all the people with something to say, but it's also the circumstances. Simultaneously, it's you. It's all you at the same time. We'll get into that. It's things you use. It's your comfort level. It's your life circumstances. It's the things you think you need to be who you are. It's the things that you think about who you are, or whether you deserve something, or whether you earned it, or just all the cacophony of voices inside your head that is also you. But for now, for the sake of the metaphor, they're the fucking Tyrells. Okay? The Tyrells and all the other families gathering in the Sept. This is getting into how to do it. Now that you understand the metaphor, this is getting into how you do it. How do I actually, detach? If it's not something that I super consciously pursue and I cultivate it by deciding, how do I actually do that? How does Cersei Lannister's go Cersei Lannister's mode and do what she needed to do? Do what she decided to do. Well, you get clear on who you are, what is yours, and what is you. You decide that, and you say, I am this. We open up with the suit and the goblet today. I say, I am the king. You decide that. And then you embody it. You do the work. You ask the question that we're going to ask every time you see my face if you're watching this shit. Asking yourself, who am I being right now? And being honest. Being completely honest. Completely self-aware, no shame, and all that shame and stuff, that's the Tyrells, that's the people in the Sept. It's not about shaming, it's about being honest with yourself. Ask yourself, who are you being right now? If you got some kind of discomfort going on, there's something you want, there's somewhere you want to be, there's somebody you want to be that you're not being. Ask yourself who you are being right now. And be honest, and then immediately follow that question with another question of who do I want to be? And then immediately follow that with just being that shit. With conviction. Okay? And you're going to have to come to every moment, you got that choice, and you have to come to every moment clean, and you have to go to the next moment clean, every present moment. That's the thing. You decide in every moment whether you realize it or not. And when you realize it, it may seem hard. It may seem like, this is not real. I'm pretending. He's pretending to be the king. That's why it may seem difficult. That's why it may seem difficult. But I didn't say it would be easy. I didn't say it would be easy. It's not necessarily easy. But it is simple. Okay, we're going for the catchphrase. We're going for the 2026 catchphrase of the year, okay? Not always is. It's simple, not easy. Said that before. Simple, not easy, okay? Catchphrase of the year. So let's back it up. What does Cersei Lannister's do? We in the episode now. We in the episode now. She's on the kingdom balcony, okay? She's in her castle sipping her shit. Just watching. She knows what she did. She already decided. She knows what's going to happen. She knows who she is. She got up that morning and she dressed as Queenie mode, okay? She went Queenie mode. She dressed up. Got all fined up. Got her goblet of wine out. This is just water, by the way. She got all dressed up, Queenie mode, looking out over that shit. She knew who she was. And all of the extra noise after that decision, she blown that shit up. And you got to incorporate conviction in that decision. Every time you make it. Because you'll slip up. It ain't easy, but it's simple. So where are we going with this? The old identity will come back. The Tyrells will start running their mouth. You won't get them all in one decision. Unless you're that good. And you can decide you're that good. There's going to be some old granny bitty, old Lena Tyrell coming yapping at you. Trying to gank your shit. There's going to be some return, some result that didn't turn out like you wanted, or it came out wrong. But the results are coming out wrong. You're not properly embodied in the first place. But for the sake of the analogy, some result didn't happen that you liked or that you didn't like. Or some trigger came up or something, or some intrusive thought, or somebody said some shit that you didn't like. Or somebody said, a personal example, somebody said your nose looks fucked up. Ask me how I know. A personal example. Last week, somebody says some bullshit to you. Your nose looks fucked up, brother. You know what you got to do? Ask me where the person is right now that said your nose is fucked up. They're in the air particle field because I did what you got to do. You got to say, come on into the sept. The trial's about to begin. Get into the sept. You just blow that shit up. Just let all that shit go. That's what you got to do. Very simple, okay? Decide who you are. How do I actually do this, Mr. Baba? Decide who you are. Embody that. And the rest, awareness just lets it go by itself. If you persistent in embodying that. And you know who you are. Okay? What else we got? She's just sitting there with her goblet. Just breathing. You remember how she breathed in after the sept blew up? The shot after the sept went sky high and the wind just going through her hair. She's like, and you just let all that shit go. It's the meme. Let all that shit go. Okay? And people will say, like, I got my goblet out, got the suit out, and they're props. And I'm not actually the king. I'm using props. I'm using crutches. I'm using aids. I'm using embodiment aids. That I need the little drinky to be confident. It's just water, by the way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is, and that's my point. Okay, the Tyrells are going to say, you need something to pretend to be who you are, because you're just pretending. And you'll believe that too when somebody says it to you, or you feel like it, or you get some bad vibes or bad feelings and listen to your feelings super hard instead of deciding. Or your comfort level isn't high enough, or you need to imbibe something to be confident enough, or you need your comfort level to be right, or the timeline needs to be right, or the timing of things and the circumstances. You need to be in the right mood. Probably already said that. And crutches, okay? But you get to decide what serves you, what you're the master of, and what you are serving. What serves you or what you are serving, okay? Anything can be part of you and how you organize and structure what you got going on inside as who you are. You don't need no crutches, okay? And for the Tyrells out there, you know what you do with the crutches and things you depend on? That's why I brought the goblet today. You know what you say? You say, I don't need that shit. Say, I don't need that shit. I'm not going to pretend that goblet was the most classy, magnificent thing ever. But you don't need the crutches. You don't need the crutches. All you need is the decision. To decide who you are, okay? And after you do that, you were untouchable. You take that breath, you take that, you go Cersei Lannister's mode, but not Cersei Lannister's mode, you go you mode. You go you mode. Blow all of that shit, all the circumstances, all the Tyrells, all that shit up. You take that breath, you say, I don't need that shit, let that shit go. And you're you. In that moment, you're you. And there's nothing in the external or internal that you don't want there. There's no circumstance or person or thing out there that can reach into you. Reach into the part of you that knows who you are. Okay? Only you get to decide that. And every moment you can come in clean. Be rebooted in every moment, okay? I had to put that in there. Okay? She didn't even show up to the trial. She didn't show up to the trial not because she was afraid or she was reckless or just because she was reckless. So she was a bit reckless, but for the sake of our analogy, okay, we're not doing character analysis or that kind of shit. She didn't do it because she was afraid or running away. She didn't show up to the trial because she decided. The star of the show. The most dangerous baddie in the entire show. That's you, by the way. Didn't even show up to the trial. Blew that shit up. Let it go. Because there's nobody, nothing has jurisdiction over you, no matter how realistic it may seem to them senses. There's no need to show. When that shit happens, and you decide, and anything else that is not you occurs. When something that is not you, somebody says your nose is fucked up, they walk up to you, you decide what all this is. And when something steps up to it, if you're embodied properly, after a while, your awareness won't even pick it up. But if something steps up to this, and it is not that, not what you decided, it perishes in the fire, okay? Perishes in the fire, goes into the sept. If it makes it into your mental theater, it goes into the sept. And you blow it up. You don't give it a place to live. You don't give it a place to live. Because you blew it up and you said rent is due. Something shows up trying to get in your head, you say rent is due, baby. That gets in there, you blow it up. It ain't you. Rent is due. Okay? What else? Is that it? Here's the invitation. I have an invitation for you. Homework time. Roll call. Homework. School is in session. Rent is due. School is in session. Homework. Before I discontinue yapping at you in the next minute or so, I got homework. Before I stop yapping, decide. Decide who you are. Ask yourself those questions. Embody it. And the rest of it, you blow it a million miles. You let it go. Okay? Every circumstance, every person, and you yourself shows up with judgments and doubts and fears that you did not decide. You know what you do? You do not show up to the trial. or you show up to the trial as you, for you, because you decided. You're not sitting around subject to, intrusive nonsense that you did not decide. You did not wait. You did not wait for things to happen and decide who you are. You did not wait for judgment. You did not wait for a judgment that was not going to serve you in the first place. You're not waiting for a verdict that was not going to set you free. Okay? That's all I got. That's a good place to end. That is a good place to end. Okay, so go Cersei Lannister's mode on it. Do your homework, decide. That's all I got. Uncompromising conviction in who you decide to be and who you are. There's plenty more to talk about. It's simple, not easy. Keep doing your simple homework, simple decision. And we're going to talk again. We're going to talk again. Plenty more to say. Detachment. Cersei Lannister's mode. Blow that shit up. Let it go. I love you.